Hello there people, welcome to my Awesomenauts highlights, all 126 of them. Enjoy! Number 1. After clawing my way out through Yuri, I proceed to retreat alongside a nearly dead Froggy. I take the time to clear out minions, nearly get gobbled up by the worm, and end Leon's pursuit with a well-aimed Evil Eye skill shot. Number 2, we've overstayed our welcome and try to disengage. When Raylan falls sniping down onto my retreat path, I panic and send out an Evil Eye in the opposite direction. I was probably trying to either hit pursuing Vinny or damage the core. That's not what happened. Here's me. Here are reasonable targets, both of whom I've missed. Here's an evaporating Leon that I've killed with that Evil Eye. He might have been invisible at the time, but I wouldn't have seen him anyway because of the blind. Number 3. I casually stroll down into bottom lane, cast an eye at something invisible and drop down. I get snurred, stun, exploded almost immediately. Using my collision-free life-stealing rage, I go through them and narrowly evade death. Number 4. The enemy Isla slips past me as I drop down to reconvene with a teammate. I deftly dodge and explode, but can't give chase to punish. When Invisible Froggy stuns me with his dash, I finally decide to book it. Coincidentally, the enemy Isla picks the same route after getting tanked by Leon. A single Evil Eye takes her down. Number 5. Enemy Swiggins, hooks, and tethers me. His teammates eagerly pursue me to secure the kill, only to get taken out. Number 6. The original idea was to ambush and kill Durple. Our concerted effort helps deal with Gnaw, but my rage allows Durple to walk through me and seek possible escape paths. A chase ensues to our annoyance. It takes us an embarrassing amount of time, but he eventually succumbs, at which point our attention shifts to Froggy. Number 7. I notice that Coco's already low on health. I apply a slow and pursue her with rage, expecting to kill her before she reaches safety. I succeed, and immediately pull back. Number 8. After a brief scuffle with Vinny, I set my bloodthirsty sight on Swiggins. He desperately tries to get away, but he whips his ankle, failing to immobilize me. The act gives him a slightly higher movement speed, but not sufficiently so to outrun me. I follow him all the way to the drill, where he finally dies, a few steps away from safety. Number 9. Coco's under half health. She could safely run away, but she doesn't expect me to be insane enough to tower dive alone against 2 people, and nimble enough to pull it off. To her chagrin, I'm both. Number 10. I know Kitty will probably die to a snipe, but for that to happen, Raylan has to immobilize herself. I take the opportunity to pounce and take her out, making the trade. Afterwards, I disengage. Number 11. I'm desperately trying to hunt down the enemy Vinny, but he flies away. I blindly send out a ball lightning, hoping to intercept him after. No dice. In a somewhat hopeless act, I make my way for the enemy roof anyway. No Vinny, but I see Coco dodging shots by jumping. I blast her to bits from above after predicting where she would go. Number 12, a simple ball kill. Notably, I get stunned after the ball goes out, but before needing to detonate it. Number 13. After a bit of posturing, I use ball lightning to knock Yuri to the side, then cut off his escape path. Instead of trying to run away to the left, he stands his ground, hoping to take me down with the help of his backstabbing friend. He doesn't. Number 14. My teammates have perished, and I've become stranded behind enemy lines. My health is low and I'm about to get pincered. I time my teleport just right and get away. Number 15. Lone Star slips by us, but Raylan is stuck on our side of the map. I knock her back and make it clear that to get away, she'll have to deal with me first. I sloppily fail to dodge a snipe, losing a huge chunk of health. She takes that as her cue. I take her on in melee range and slay her. Number 16. Instead of falling back, Froggy dives in on Raylan. I strike her down as Leon takes my teammate out. Not only doesn't he run away, he pulls me in with his tongue, which I gleefully accept as an opportunity to score a double kill. Number 17, Clunk gets cocooned in midair. I chase him down and secure the kill in spite of getting snurred. Vinny breaks through, but Ayla's after him. I knock Leon out of the way with the ball and Genji cocoons him. At that point, he's doomed, even though he was originally a fair distance away from the fight. Number 18. I maul Vinny while blind and take the brunt of Clunk's explosion. After regaining my composure, I re-engage and melt Clunk. Leon pulls me in, but I refuse to back off, burning him to a crisp. At that point, Vinny comes back and nearly kills us. Noticing that Genji gets cocooned him, I send out a ball and blow it up at just the right time. Number 19. After an explosion leaves me severely injured and somewhat panicked, Leon jumps in, trying to assassinate me. He misses his tongue, slices helplessly at the air, and finally gets blasted away onto the jump pad. After a brief awkward moment, he jumps into my sparkly embrace, giving me a kill and the opportunity to bugger off back to base. Number 20. I jump into the fray and scare Raylan away as she patiently runs all the way to the health pack. I chip away at her health with impunity. Scalded blocks her escape path, giving us the kill. We finally turn our attention to Leon, who promptly evaporates after failing to find an escape path of his own. Number 21. The plan was simple. Get into the base, destroy the drill, win the game. In spite of a few distractions, we were well on our way to completing the plan's execution. The real wrench thrown into our gears was Lone Star's ball, which swept the entire team aside and into a hail of bullets. Even then, though 5 people bit the dust, I was still doing fine and carried out the assigned duties. It took me a while because I was doing this all alone, but eventually, after a bit of time, I got us the victory. Number 22. Sometimes you get people who act oblivious. There's a knockback on this thing, and it does not collide with terrain. You don't just stand behind the turret at quarter health without expecting me to try and gank you. Forget the no, however. Exhibit B. Yuri. I've knocked him to the right once already. It hurt. What do you think he'll do? He'll dart to the right of his own accord, expecting to get away in time. No, dude. That's not how it works. Number 23. You know those times when you see someone very low on health and you really want to get him? You know those times when you miss your tongue or hook and you still want to get him? You know those times when you give chase after that, see the guys with the rest of his team, but you still try and get him? Good times. Number 24. Raylan wants to get away, but I ball her away. This would have been smoother if it wasn't for the ever-present slide bug which propelled us as our bodies fused. Number 25! I like to maintain that Coco is a melee DPS, not a bruiser. Here I am against a sniper, a damage over time applying siege specialist, a tank, and a tower. I kill the sniper. Since the specialist doesn't relent, I kill him as well. Then I take the tower. Number 26. We'd taken down the defense in top lane, but attacking through there would have led to us easily getting trapped. Since opening up a convenient escape route required taking down the bottom lane turret, and we already severely damaged it, we decided to finish the job. I don't know what possessed us to do it with the entire enemy team up, but the predictable happened, and between the turret and teamfight damage we all got slaughtered. Since this was fairly late in the match, death timers were punishingly long and the enemy team was free to bum rush our final tower and take the drill down before we got any boots back on the ground. What they failed to take into account were our minion waves that reached the drill and finished the job for us, leading to an unexpected victory. Number 27. Sometimes you barely pull something off. This ball dealt barely enough damage to take the Froggy down. Each bar seems to represent 20 hit points. The ball dealt 67 damage and Froggy had 3 bars and a bit of health before his untimely demise. I thought that was going to be the end of it and wanted to go back to base to heal and buy upgrades. Instead, I jumped at the opportunity to kill Ayla. She was barely within the blast's radius. Number 28. Harsh circumstances breed exciting opportunities. I get tossed into turret fire while already heavily injured. I am forced to try and dodge the snipe and avoid punches on my way to safety. As soon as I can, I turn around and punish the bloodthirsty Scoldier. Number 29. I position myself to the left. Raylan falls down from the sky and dies. Before getting tossed, I fire a ball, detonated to bounce Scoldier into the nuke like a pinball. Number 30. Delpol has saturated the area with snare traps. Scoldier prances into one, and I gleefully bounce him into the other one. This locks him down, exposes him to droid damage, and prevents him from escaping while our team rips him apart. Number 31. I wanted to help and I kinda did. My ball disrupted Raylan's snipe, which would have killed Delpol. Incidentally, it also closed the gap between them, almost leading to her gunning him down with basic attacks. Thankfully, it all worked out in the end. Number 32. Sharp reflexes save me from the explosion as I jump to avoid it. I circumnavigate dynamite sticks and zero in on Lone Star as my target. It takes me a while to secure the kill, but I wouldn't have even had the health to do that if it wasn't for the initial series of dodges. Number 33. With rare exceptions, people don't usually let you envelop them with blaze. Ordinarily, it merely serves as a deterrent. Not here. I get awkwardly wedged between enemies and unleash the sparkly fury upon them. I couldn't have done it without my allies' DPS, but two assassins ultimately fall to the dot. Number 34. Without cold heavily damaged, I rush out to fend off the aggressors. Clunk's at about half health, but I decide to take him on. I dodge the explode and fry him. Leon jumps out of the shadows to fight me while nearly dead. I graciously accept the offering. Number 35. As I eagerly jump out of the shadows, Scoldier concludes that fighting three people at once might be unwise. While I can't physically catch up to him, I have a suspicion as to where he'll go next. I send out the ball and catch him frozen in fear. Number 36. Coco got stranded on our side of the map. Based on experience, I deduce her most likely escape path and send my ball there. She was indeed headed for the jump pads. Number 37. I try to set a trap but then get tired of waiting. My blaze merely serves to slow down the target. Knowing where she'll go, I send the ball in advance and blow her up. Number 38. In a fit of overzealous aggression, Coco charges our turret. I bump her closer, then move in for the kill. Yuri's death gets swiftly avenged as Raylan falls into my grasp. Number 39. The entirety of the enemy team is wailing upon our drill, tearing it apart. With a well-aimed ball and the aid of my teammates, I take Clunk out, pursuing the remaining threats with unbridled rage. The droids get cleared up with nary a moment to spare, as the health bar of our final structure has already shrunk into irrelevancy. Number 40. It was scary when Scoldier tossed me into the midst of the enemy team all of a sudden. I regained my composure and fled upwards into safety. After a brief consideration, I have decided to re-engage. Gnaw and Lone Star were incredibly low on health, so I pounced on them first. Then came time for Scoldier. He tried to run away, but alas, it was too late by that point. Number 41. Raylan falls from the sky and snipes me point blank. She then retreats, heals up and starts dishing out poke damage. I knew I'd punish her with ball lightning, but I didn't expect the knockback to happen just before she locked in snipe. This left her immobilized and led to her death in short order. Number 42. My team is stuck defending the turret protecting our solar drill. The entire enemy team either dead or trying to break through. Knowing that the path to the enemy drill has already been opened, and the drill itself has sustained some damage, I beeline it for the base. Some patient zapping later, we emerge victorious. Number 43. Ayla springs from the shadows and clumsily tries to hurt me. She ultimately gets surrounded and dies. That wasn't the point though. Getting stuck on Invisible Leon was the actual play. Number 44, keep track of that red Raylan. She evades my ball and barely escapes behind her turret. Unfortunately for her, that's never enough to be truly safe from Coco. Number 45, I briefly sit there with pride, taking turret damage and eating a snipe. When I finally decide enough is enough, Scoldil eagerly gives chase. Unluckily for him, I gobbled up a bunch of creeps, and by the time he gets to me, I can siege up and nuke him. My teammates finish the job. Number 46. This is it, the final siege. Instead of playing it safe and planting myself at max range with an escape path, I decide to take the entire enemy team on! A nuke takes out Raylan. Next up, Coco desperately tries to break through, but gets gunned down. Finally, Scoldil fails to maintain a safe distance and evaporates, joining his dead comrades. At that point, dealing with the drill becomes a formality. Number 47. With a faithful support by my side, we siege. I weather the dynamite and the bolts. I stand my ground, even once the droids fall. The enemy Leon tries to be fancy and dispatch me. I gun him down with no mercy. Afterwards, I prudently elect to fall back. Number 48. There's just no stopping me. The poison, the weedlings, the fear of no turning ground, insignificant. I dash into him and gun him down as he's stunned and helpless. Coco rushes in. I let her chase and then turn around to dispose of her as well. Number 49, we are under siege and need a decisive counterattack to push the enemies back. Following up on my dash, Clunk rushes in to explode. This is my cue to give chase and hunt out every single enemy before they can get away. I start with Durple, then decide to stun Lone Star before finishing off Fury. Falling through platforms is an inconvenience, but I know I'll be able to catch up to him. I find my prey and lunge to get the final kill. Number 50! The enemies have dug themselves in between Yuri's mines and Durple's siege mode. Bullets and nukes will be a tall order to break through. I dash forward, setting up the mines, eliminate Yuri, and proceed to eradicate Durple shortly afterwards. The path to the enemy drill is now wide open. Number 51! The enemy forces are attacking our drill. Thankfully, my basic attack periodically summons a deadly mist. Enjoy the fireworks, this doesn't really need explaining. Number 52, both people here would have been fine had they just ran away instead of standing in fire while low on health. Number 53. Bulking out the initial bit of goo helped, but most of the damage I've dealt in this scene came from rapid bites and the poison inflicted by them. Number 54. Durple sieged up and proceeded to ignore me mauling him in favor of killing my tiny weedling. Bizarre. Number 55. I get gored and pinned by the bull, shot by the turret, punched and stunned by Scoldil, blown up and set on fire with dynamite. Still get away. Number 56. With pushing the enemy team back. I gently nibble on Lone Star and watch him die from infection. Next up is Durple. He sieged himself up and will fire off a nuke any moment. Once that blows up, it's my cue to strike. I take chunks out of him and finish him off. If Scoldil was smart, that would be the end of it. Sadly for him, he strays a bit too far forward and pays the price. Number 57. There's a tiny little wheatling on our base's balcony. It kills a creep and transfers their health to me. If it wasn't for that, I would have burned to death. Number 58. An intruder has snuck up onto our battlements. I attempt to dispose of said individual, only to get pinned mid-fall. He eventually succumbs to my poison, but well played regardless. Number 59. I just wanted to have a wheatling in this general area. The enemy Isla opposed the idea, so we played a nice little game of tag. Until her luck ran out. Do note that Isla's rage, while providing lifesteal, deals constant damage to her. Number 60, it's one of those nightmare scenarios. Our team has barely respawned, the enemies are hammering away at our drill snipe bar, and I'm playing as Gnaw. 3 bars left on the base, I desperately jump into the midst of our foes to buy time. The snipe deters me and drives me back. I don't have time to teleport back to base, so I heal up and re-engage. What happens next is truly amazing. In the blink of an eye, we go from nearly losing the game to wiping out the enemy team. Since the way to the drill has already been made clear a long time ago, we can and need to reach it quickly and close out the match. Considering how low on health our drill is, we both need to accomplish this soon, before the enemy team responds, and meticulously clear the map from enemy droids that would, if left unchecked, destroy what's still left of our drill. This tension is likely the reason my team hasn't joined me quite immediately. As a matter of fact, they seem to have missed a few units on their way, making my task all the more stressful. Ultimately, however, we do claim victory. Number 61. In this highlight, poison damage helps secure 2 kills. There's also a nice snipe dodge at the start. Number 62, I dart into the midst of the enemy forces, secure the kill, then get out before any of the numerous disables at their disposal reach me. Number 63. All of our turrets are already down, all 3 enemy turrets are still left standing. 23 grueling minutes of this match have already passed. What I wanted to show you were the final 3 that ultimately decided it. From a personal standpoint, this match's significance is amplified by the fact that both Kitty, my team's Leon, and Browse, the enemy team's Durple, are the people I've played many matches with by that point.
Back to the ranch. Spending some De Niro. Attack! I just did the universal kill. Taking you all out. An enemy has been killed. Killing spree. Blue team dominated. Your team is in the enemy base. You have been killed. An ally has been killed. Attack! Attack! spending some De Niro. 5, attack! 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! Time to kick butt and chew tobacco. Your face is under attack. An enemy has been killed. Defend! Take that, Superman. An ally has been killed. Defend! Your base is under attack. Defend! Your base is under attack. Victory!
Number 64. Lone Star would love to get away, but he simply can't. He can't teleport because I'm on his tail, and he can't run back to his base because my team is busy tearing it apart.
You have killed a enemy. Killing machine. I'm taking you all out.
Number 65. Not only do I leave my support unprotected and let him die, I push his killer away with the bull, putting him out of harm's way. Number 66. Even though I'm below half health, I still managed to bring down the full health Lone Star with a dodge, a pin, a graceful dynamite toss, and some burn damage. Number 67, one of the most amazing plays. I've circled around the top to flank the enemies. Lone Star got engulfed in damage and succumbed to death quickly despite his feeble protestations. Delpo, instead of wisely fleeing eastward to disengage and teleport back to base, decided to face my wrath. He got pinned and eradicated despite scorching my face with a nuke. Pay close attention now, I've been cocooned and thus disabled. This is me. This is Genji. These are the sticks of dynamite I've tossed. Genji just stood there oblivious, ultimately eating all the damage. I got the last kill while put in stasis. After killing the last member of the enemy team and making my way out of my confinement, I proceed to blast the enemy drill to bits, ultimately securing us the victory. Number 68! What started out as a misaligned pounce ended with me smashing an invisible foe in his invisible face. Leonin proceeded to willfully ditch his invisibility. With a heavily injured hostile in plain sight, I did what Penny does best. Number 69, arguably Penny's signature move, extended knockback and stun on pounce, sending a hapless foe into my turret's range.
This fox is on fire.
Number 70. 2 dodges, one over and one under the ankle. Number 71. This is a recent showcase of how elusive Penny can be. Let me remind you that Vinny has that annoying and highly deadly dash he can perform, and the end of which everything in a huge area around him gets dealt damage. At this low health, what worries me about that attack is its range, not damage. A single ankle hook would kill me here. I desperately try to navigate the map in hopes of finding some escape route. Getting tethered is just the icing on the cake. I pounce to the left and ever so barely get the health back. Eventually the leash expires and I make my escape. Number 72. When I arrive at the scene, Lone Star's about to break free from the tether but will die to damage unless I intervene. I pounce, knocking back and briefly stunning his assailants, buying my teammate a precious bit of time. Number 73. We're pushing the bottom lane and our luck. I try my best to protect our healer from the brunt of the enemy's onslaught, but I am a DPS, not a tank. In the end, I do what the character excels at. I gank 2 guys, making up for our loss. Notably, I get the second kill while tethered. Number 74. If you don't plan on going anywhere, being restricted in your movement doesn't mean a whole lot to you, does it? Number 75. I used to have a terrible propensity for getting myself stuck in dangerous spots due to overextending. With a character like Penny, however, I also had the luxury of being able to either turn my way through opponents or juke them to hell and back. Sometimes, like in this highlight, both.
Run away, and maybe I won't kill you.
Number 76. Volta has decided to charge head-on into the enemy forces. He gets started and hit with an airstrike. Fortunately, I'm there to bail him out with a well-timed pounce that pushes enemies aside.
That's a foxhole.
Number 77. The teamfight erupted abruptly and just as suddenly ended. At the onset of this clip, not a single red player was even present in top lane. A few action-packed seconds later, it was all over. How did that happen? Let us rewind a bit. I knock Raylin into turret range. The energy pulse will take her down alongside Lone Star. The latter receives a single swipe to the face on top of that. Scaldy tosses Froggy into bullets. Well done.
Hit them hard.
Number 78. This one's about dodging. First, I evade the dynamite sticks. Then, I interrupt Snipe. I dodge dynamite once again, and finally, find a quarry worth pursuing. Number 79. I have a third of my health left, the enemies are charging down the lane, and I feel like I should go back to be capable of fending them off. That's not what ends up happening. We get the kills in spite of enemy Raylan's terrifying beast of a lift. Number 80, this one caught me off guard. I was well aware that you could disrupt channeled spells by stunning people with pounce. Apparently, you can also cancel Clunk's explode the same way. Curious. Number 81, I save Vinny and kill Froggy. The pounce puts him in peril. The silence cripples his mobility. Number 82, my bots decide to go left. Why? There's nothing there! The battlefield's the other way, you morons! Get back here! Oh. Number 83. Things have tragically gotten worse somehow. Leon Bot is stuck. The previous excursion to the landing pad was one thing. The bots eventually came to their digital senses and replotted their cause. This one seems hopelessly stuck. To make matters worse, he's in a spot where enemies are likely to hunt him down and kill him, so he can't even be reset to normalcy that way. I thought I already had it bad when I initially got stuck with 2 bots for the match. I underestimated how bad things would get. The real kicker is that, as you might have noticed, the enemy team has 2 people, and they're still failing to outplay me. Obviously, I do eventually get swarmed and outnumbered, ending my misery, but the way there was spectacular, in a pathetic way. Number 84, teamwork! Coco bounces Ray my way, and I follow up with a snipe. I don't secure the kill personally, but I do my part. Number 85, a moment of hesitation, an eternity of regret. Instead of continuing his escape, he returned around for an instant. It was enough. Number 86, sniping is about the angle, and the angle is about relative positioning. Dropping down next to a step restricted my aim significantly, but I still found a way to hit my mark. Number 87, when gunning someone down, it can be helpful to actually see where they are. Hold on, that was it. Let's see that again. I set my sights on Lone Star and decide to kill him with my rifle. The dynamite damages and blinds me, but I maintain my composure and fight on. Even though there are occasional blood splatters further obscuring my already limited view, I stick to my target. Lone Star has failed to shake me off and get away. Number 88. Here's a quaint little scene. Yuri is determined to set up a minefield to the point of ignoring me. And he would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for that pesky body block. Number 89, the first snipe should have sent Froggy packing. Diving in after that was asking for it, he ended up with nearly no health left. Failing to notice the Q or account for its hitbox was what ultimately got it. Number 90, while poor judgment and lack of team cohesion on the part of our enemies can be argued as bigger factors here than my own brilliance and skill, I undoubtedly seized the opportunity as it arose. I ruthlessly capitalized on those mistakes. Number 91! This highlight is ridiculous, more amusing than impressive. It starts out with me somewhat stranded in the middle of the map, away from my team and fortifications. A little meandering proves necessary for me to safely return behind those structures. All of that, however, has merely been a prelude to the actual chase, which ensues almost immediately after I leave the safety of my home turf. Number 92! Lone Star wants to close the distance and kill me. That much seems reasonable. Once I make my way behind the turret, however, it should be apparent that there's no way for him to reach me, while I can absolutely reach him with my snipe. Failure to immediately fall back results in his demise. Number 93. Every snipe starts out as a route you apply to yourself. You should probably be damn sure you won't need to leave urgently anytime soon when you commit to those. Number 94. I've already mentioned the potential dangers of sniping inappropriately, but I believe the absolute rock bottom can be seen in this clip. Behold, sniping in point blank with a bruiser smashing your face in. Number 95. An all too common problem seems to be hiding not quite far enough behind one's own turret. Most people don't punish it because it essentially requires a tower dive, or because they simply don't realize that having an obstacle in the way doesn't matter, only distance does. Other than that, this clip features standard Skullgear for juggling enemies and punching them. Number 96. This clip shows off a delightful mix of ineptitude, resignation, and serendipity. The initial scuffle with Lone Star leaves him miraculously alive and mine all dead. Trying to salvage the situation, I dedicate my efforts to eradicating Coco. These details, however, are of only tangential importance. What matters is that they eventually lead to the following payoff. As I randomly bash the L while falling back, the jump pad propelled Lone Star pops up, collides with my fist, and dies. Number 97. I chased that Leon down. I miss a few times, but do not relent. When he hides behind his crumbling tower, I raise it, just to get my hands on him. Our final, almost cinematic confrontation takes place in middle. Number 98. Damage does not reveal targets, but numbers pop up regardless. When Earthquake to the left reveals nothing, I punch to the right. Number 99. Our base is under attack. They have a heal bar now that snurs it up, and there's 3 of them against the 2 of us. As you can see, my solution was to punch them in the face. And if that failed, punch them some more. Punching harder was not an option, since the initial plan was to punch with as much force as I could muster. Why Ayla decided to take her chances again? I have no clue. Fact is, she did, and she died 2 damage over time. Number 100. What I did was simple. What Yuri was doing was risky, but what Coco did was made of balls. Look at her health bar. Number 101. An exemplary display of teamwork. It all started out with Ayla overextending. Since Rage suspends unit collision, I could task her through everyone and straight under our turret. Raylan followed up with a snipe, Coco with ball lightning, I added a punch that shaved the last bit of health off. Inspiring. Number 102! If one thing stands out in this clip immediately, it's my clumsy attempts to get upstairs. They make the follow-up kill all the more humiliating. You had the time to get away. You should have known better. Number 103. I love bruisers for their ability to stand their ground, both take and deal damage. By the way, I dodged that earthquake beautifully, only to jump right back into it. Gnaw helps me secure the kill. What I love is how casually I decide to follow that performance up with a kill on Raylan. Teams in this game are comprised of 3 people. This was wiping out 2/3 of the enemies without breaking a sweat. Number 104. Fact 1. Behind a barrier that neither enemies nor their projectiles can cross lies an area giving rapid health regen. Fact number 2. I have upgraded my ankle so it deals damage once tether is broken. Number 105. Following up on my ankle, Raylan hit a beautiful snipe. Unfortunately, I needed to land 2 more basic attacks. Amazingly, I hit that second one barely before Coco got behind the turret. Number 106. One of the most satisfying targets to tether is Yuri. Behold, as airborne Raylan follows my anchor up with a snipe. Although the enemy turret frees him from confinement shortly, the resulting tether breakage deals fatal damage. Number 107. Non-orthogonal angles make judging distance tricky. You'd think, never in a million years should that hit. You'd be wrong. Number 108. Here's a rare sight to behold. Respect. Huge damage potential from that Raylan Neon. I was waiting for a teammate, but that wasn't what set me off. My cue was Raylan's snipe, which I disrupted with ankle pull. Coco's help was, of course, very much appreciated. Number 109. Here's another one to combo that should have been an obvious and commonplace example of teamwork. Coco knocks Raylan to me, I tether her to the ankle and help finish her off. Number 110. People do interesting things when they get tethered. Some attack the ankle with vicious determination, some fight the enemies, some run away. Then there's this guy, who's trying to hide, as if I was just going to let him be. Also props to Coco for the nice ball. Number 111. Let's ignore how I inexplicably pull Raylan with my ass. After which point she ends up in front of me, having mucked up her snipe. This play is actually about killing Durple with a basic attack while snared. Long range on that one, eh? Number 112. I experienced a brief moment of hesitation here. My heart fluttered, full of trepidation. Let's have a quick look at the actual situation. Here's me, as Swiggins. Here's Durple. Here's Durple's nuke. Fret not, however, for this is my health bar. I soon came to my senses and realized there was nothing to fear. Number 113. You know those times when through recklessness and hubris you put your life in jeopardy as the enemy team collapses on you, refuses to let you go, and throws enough damage to subdue a herd of elephants your way? Okay, but do you know the times you hang onto that level of health, refuse to accept your demise, and not only survive, but take some of them down on your way out? This was one of those crazy times.
We have them surrounded. Heading back to the checkpoint.
Number 114. I love that all of this craziness starts with me saying, "We need to fall back." Number 115. The old chestnut of unnecessarily taking too much damage and then scoring desperate kills on the retreat path. Classic. Number 116. One of the few times I've actually managed to make use of the much maligned ability, the Stim Pack.
We have them surrounded, at least from this side. Killing spree. You can hurt some people some of the time, but you can't hurt the King of Pain.
Number 117. The combination of long range, high rate of fire, and piercing in all my projectiles results in a massacre that doesn't look anywhere near close. Add the brutal burst of damage from my charge attack and the results seem inevitable. At the end though, I think Scaldia wasn't even so much interested in killing me as he was in simply getting away. Number 118. It's a pretty bleak state of affairs when you cannot possibly angle your shots in a way that will allow you to hit your mark. Purple found himself in just such a predicament here. Ultimately decided to sink a bit of health into the deal, just to guarantee getting a kill for my effort. There's also the follow-up to consider. Having accumulated some damage, I decide to take a brief break and recuperate. Afterwards, predictably enough, I charge back in and kill another hapless soul. Number 119. Playing as Voltal gives few options to personally score kills. One of them is snuggling up to an enemy and detonating our drones. This highlight shows me doing that to Clunk, the biggest sack of health this game has. Number 120. Dealing damage with the upgraded heal butt requires enemies to stay within its range, but the more important of them tend to oblige. Number 121. A bit of foresight and a bit of luck, you just might catch a fleeing healer. Pin them to the wall, I say. Number 122. Flashy exceptions aside, Voltal usually stays behind and heals. Here's a short example of me patiently pushing a lane by healing our bots. The notable part is dodging a few skill shots lazily aimed in my general direction. Number 123. Here's some closure. I turn back around, bully the enemy Raylan, then finally score the kill on her while a level below her. Of course, most of the damage I owe to our own Raylan. I've mostly served as bait here. Nevertheless, a kill is a kill. Number 124. If you make the slowing field big and powerful enough, it just might prove to be useful. Number 125. With powerful mines, a slowing field and a charged up laser, Yuri can cut off enemy escape paths quite well. Number 126. As much as I love dropping mines on the heads of my enemies, sometimes having them stick around can prove to be useful. I assist in taking down Clunk with my laser and slowing field, but that's just the beginning. I put down a mine in this seemingly random spot. Froggy makes his way to a jump pad and, off camera, lands on the mine and dies. Getting Raylan seems impossible since she's safely hidden behind the drill and has the range to eventually fend us off. Never underestimate the willingness of a sniper to go into melee. Not the ability of a support to body block said sniper.